difficulties here for the economic report. It's Brian checking in, so I will ask your forgiveness. The world is an imperfect place, and Lord knows I'm the guy who lives in that. Hey, bonus points. Name the movie where it says, "Screws fall out all the time, sir. The world's an imperfect place." If you can name that movie, you will get a huge thumbs up for me from me today. And of course, today we are talking about stable coins. And I got to be honest with you, this has been legislation that was passed not too long ago, like last week, inside of the U.S. Senate. It came out of the Banking Committee and then moved on to the House of Representatives and of course signed into law. And of course, it's a three-part series of bills that will be coming through. You've got each one think they have a higher probability of passing when you put them one by one, so they can work out their differences between uh, how they perceive those bills. But of course, the stable coin really is supposed to be the new way of doing business transactions. Now, of course, a little bit of research before the show today, we realized that those, what do we know about the stable coins? Well, they're US dollar based transactions. Once again, that's at least the US dollar stable coin. One. Number two, and you'll find equally as important, is the fact that these stable coins actually have quite a bit of merit in financial transactions. And so instead of doing things using the old SWIFT system, I believe it's called, settlement system, they believe it's going to be a little bit better to go ahead and do transactions this way on the blockchain. And so the U.S. government and the crypto industry, and trust me, there's a ton of people in that crypto industry, are extremely anxious to get down and involved in this stablecoin business. So I'm saying to you, this is a very, very real thing happening in the United States. Now, of course, I created a video today about stable coins, and it might not be the most riveting, but it maybe is an important thing for you to pay attention to, particularly here on Main Street, because once again, we're not necessarily saying we have all the answers, but maybe an awareness that this is out there. One, there's such a thing as a stable coin, and number two, it will be eventually adopted more and more as a system for doing transactions. I gotta say so. You know, I went to the gas station this morning. Forgive me, I forgot my darn wallet. So I grabbed some extra cash and went over and did a transaction. Went inside the gas station, and there I was. I put $10 onto the cashier's desk, and the cashier said, "No, no, no, we don't take cash." I'm like, "Well, goodness sakes, what are you going to do? I need to buy a fuel." And they pointed down to a slot. They said, "You put your money in this slot." And sure enough, the counter counted out my money that I had $10 and gave me a credit on the gas pump. And I went ahead and pumped the gas. So uh, we're living in a world that's changing and changing right before our eyes. And I guess whether it's a personless cash counter or it's a stable coin or it's a cryptocurrency, I'm just pointing these things out there that are really, really important to pay attention to. I'm Brian at the Economic Report. I want to welcome you all for being here. Go ahead and drop your comments in the chat. I do respond to those. We had an enormous crowd in here. It came out to be like over 435 people in yesterday's session. Of course, we were talking about Trump, Carney, and trade. So any of you that are from that want to have any other questions about those things, feel free to drop those comments in. I do comment on the chats. This morning we started off today at least talking, started off a few minutes late, so I do apologize for that, but we did start off with cryptocurrency, talking stable coins, and of course, don't fret yet because this is something new that's being introduced, but the point is 1% of transactions may get done in this stable coin, but I think the future could be slow adaptation of that makes any sense. Most habits, and I'm going to share this with you right out of Psychology 101, most habits don't start as a huge overall adoption overnight. Most habits are picked up overnight, and you start little by little, right? A person who's smoked for 25 or 30 years doesn't die from the first cigarette, you understand? They die from 30 years of the smoking. So it's over time, it's the adaptation of a habit, right? And maybe, just maybe, the cryptos and the stable coins and new transaction systems are something that we're just being introduced to now in 2025. And of course, the ideal world is they're going to improve our way of doing business. Hey, the first Amazon transaction was what? They started off as a book company, right? But what was it really about? It was about, hey, making a transaction online to buy a book. Does their fulfillment system work? Hey, next thing they did was they moved into music. Then they moved into digital music. Then they moved into video. And all of a sudden, all kinds of crazy things happened. It was a step-by-step process with Amazon. And I'm pretty certain that this stablecoin business will be very much like that. Once again, I'm Brian here at the Economic Report. I'm glad to see you folks here. Hit like, hit subscribe, drop your comments in the chat. I do respond to everything that's appropriate in chat. And so we had a pretty robust conversation yesterday, and it ranged from stocks being traded and earnings reports all the way to, believe it or not, Bitcoins and gardening. So we had a pretty wide gambit of information here. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a couple quick checks here like we did yesterday, because it seemed like a pretty good place to do business from. We're looking at gold prices here. Gold trading right now at $34.17. Welcome to the Economic Report, folks. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and drop a comment into chat. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I will respond to everything. So gold was at 34.17. Silver it's up another 15 cents at 39.38. Pretty significant move there. So it's up, it's teetering on $40. Hey, welcome here to the Economic Report. So an ounce of silver, 39.38. And yesterday we mentioned a quick thing, since a lot of people are doing do get change back, or they might have spare change around the house. It never hurts to take a look at the dates on your silver. If you have anything from 1964 and back, yes, folks, that does have a high content of silver. And I'll remind you that a 50-cent piece from 1963 actually has a tremendous amount of value to it, closer to $6-7 in actual cash value versus the face value of that 50-cent piece. So just something to keep in mind. Super cool stuff. Copper pennies also, huge stuff there as well. Hey folks, drop a comment in here if you'd like me to check a particular stock for you, because I will be rolling over to stocks next and talking about earnings reports today. And today is 7/23. We'll talk about stocks that will be doing their earning report. I wanted to say that the Magnificent Seven, they call them. Yes, the Magnificent Seven. We're talking about Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. You get the picture. And of course, a lot of them are going to be reporting here in the not too distant future. So just kind of important things to take a look here. Let's take a look. Stocks, earnings, we'll say report. All right, got 14 of you here. Glad to have you, over 14, because yesterday it came out that I had like 435 people inside of my live session. So pretty wild stuff. And once again, folks, feel free to drop a comment here. A like and a subscribe does wonders. Google, that was Google yesterday. That was Class C shares reporting. Boy, you got all kinds of stuff reporting here. Not too distant future. It shows that IBM reporting today. It used to be the blue chip company, right? It was maybe the equivalent of the Microsoft of the 70s. Not anymore. You don't hear much about Big Blue. IBM anymore. It just kind of lost its positioning. That's kind of an important story that who was the champion at one point in time in history isn't always the champion later. It's a good lesson to all of us. What else can we check out here? United Rentals reporting today. General Dynamics, another huge defense contractor, and that in of itself, uh, surprise earning. Wow, up 559 for General Dynamics. That is GD, their ticker symbol, worth following. Once again, they are weapons producers, amongst other things. Did a lot of things with jets, so just an FYI. Other ones of worthy of following, we can say Chipotle. Well, I'm sure I've got a number of followers here that are Chipotle fans. Their reportings are, I went ahead and clicked on them. They have not reported yet, but Chipotle right now is trading at 52.46 per share. And of course, it is a 0.15%, which is 8 cents for those of you that are following. And no real big call yet here, but we will see what they are going to report. So, hey, put their ticker symbol is CMG. If you're curious about Chipotle, put that into your phone and follow them. They're worthy of following for no other reason because, let's face it, part of the stock market is big movers like the Apples, the Googles of the world, the Amazons, you name it. But the other part of the equation is what's happening on Main Street. And of course, Chipotle is one of those companies that really do track Main Street participation. If you think about it for a minute, hey, 16-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid, 25-year-old kid, maybe an adult standing in line at Chipotle, you always see a line there, okay? So there's really kind of some insight into customer sentiment. Number two, that you could probably get a halfway decent meal for under $10. Yeah, it's possible. And of course, that really shows about the kind of money people are willing to spend. Now, are people spending money at other restaurants? A Red Lobster, for instance, a steakhouse? Maybe not, but they're still indulging in something simple, something relatively cheap, maybe a slight indulgence, right? So, just something worth paying attention to with CMG, which is Chipotle Mexican Grill. Beyond that, we have, we're going to go ahead and pivot on over to the cryptos because the cryptos are a ton of fun to watch. And once again, if you think somebody else should be here at today's episode, go ahead and invite them. We open this up to whomever. And with that, we're taking a look at a couple other ones that are worthy of following. Bitcoin. $117,000, $823 per coin. So it's down about $2,000 right now. And why do I mention this to you? It's really down like 2%, not the end of the world. And of course, you'll see a lot of volatility with Bitcoin. And of course, if it's holding though over like 117, which I think is a key metric here, you want to pay attention to. More and more people making their play on the Bitcoin infrastructure system, and of course, that being the most notable of the cryptos. We're going to go ahead and check out Ethereum as well. Ethereum down 4% today, trading at 3595.22 per coin. So we're talking roughly down $153.28 for the time being. And hey, there's some people out there in some circles that say, hey, this is a great time to make your play on Ethereum because it's on sale today. It could be, but of course, with every risk comes a possible reward and a possibility of getting completely whacked because it goes down. Remember, Warren Buffett always has the great saying, which is markets can remain irrational longer than I can remain solvent. And that says a lot, right? We're talking about probably the greatest investor in modern times. He understands human nature. He understands financial markets, and he really does understand that. Let's face it, there is when people are investing and putting their money up, there's an understanding that, without a doubt, people can lose their shirts in financial markets. I used to have a fellow used to always say that he called it Wall Street University, that the financial markets can teach you lessons that you can't learn inside of a classroom. And makes good sense to me. So, hey, I'm Brian at the Economic Report. It's really been a pleasure dealing with you, working with you. You've been a pretty quiet crowd today. Yesterday, we had a lot of robust conversations in chat. Today, it's okay. We're a little bit more quiet today, but I will say that I want to remind you to like and subscribe here to the channel. We'll be having a long form video coming up in the next, I say, hour or so that'll be released. If you're subscribed, you will get that sent to you. Of course, there will be a short today as well. Tomorrow, same time, same place, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Economic Report. And once again, you contact me on the community. I will be happy to listen and create a video based on what your needs are. And with that, thanks for joining me. Have a great day. And don't forget, folks, the biggest battle you fight is the one between your ears of your thoughts, your actions, your attitude. Make sure you're going out and making it a great day. Have an impact on your community. And with that, have a great day. The best stable coin, okay. Somebody drops in a last second question. Which stable coin do you think regular people should use as the actual currency? Well, folks, I would say stick with the U.S. dollar, and you can't go wrong. Once again, I'm just a guy on the internet. I am not a financial expert, but the big thing that we spoke about today, without a doubt, was talking about the U.S. dollar as a dollar-denominated asset backed with dollar currency, and so that was being floated out there as the digital currency. And I think there's a lot of people, even the Federal Reserve, to an extent, wanted to have a little bit more control over digital currencies, the digital dollar, and of course, behind the scenes, behind the curtains in DC or Wall Street, wherever these discussions are taking place, just understand that the US digital dollar was being floated, and instead, what we're taking a look at right now is a stable coin backed by the US dollar. So, great question, intelligent question, and without that, we'll talk to you later. Have a great day, and don't forget to be awesome.